Some people will only ever know the outdated version of you. Hi everyone, today I just wanted to sit down and talk about a topic that has been on my mind a lot recently. There are a ton of videos on this subject out here on the internet, but I feel like when your favorite influencers or someone who's already in a position of success talks about this kind of stuff, not that it can seem out of touch, but it can be kind of hard to relate just because they have made it through to the other side. It's hard to hear someone telling you to let go when you're saying you're not actually in it. I am personally in it right now. I feel like I see a new version of myself develop every 6 months to a year. I see photos of myself from a year ago today. I don't even recognize that person or the mental state or physical state that that person was in. So this video means a lot to me because I have had to rebuild and let go many times. You cannot sabotage the future version of yourself that can come to be the most aligned version of yourself just out of fear of creating confusion for the people around you. It's going to be a little scary. You don't want to shake things up, cause any sort of cognitive dissonance or confusion to the people who know you from before, but sometimes the version of you that those people know no longer exists, or you no longer resonate with that version of who you were or what you tolerated or what you used to accept, and now you're different and you have to give yourself permission to be relentless and let those old versions of yourself go. I just have a couple little notes here. When I was driving home from work, I did a voice audio from my phone and then I transcribed it. So if I look down at my phone, I'm just collecting some of my thoughts that I had. I want to make sure I do this right. This is really just meant to be a sit down, kind of big sister vibe type video. I'm here in my room, I'm in my cozy clothes. So grab your popcorn, maybe you're doing your makeup, driving to work, cleaning your apartment, whatever it is. I hope you can play this and find something from this video that resonates with you. Do not let your identity trap you. Identity is not a fixed trait or characteristic. Naturally, as you grow and change over time, your identity and your perception of self is bound to shift. So if people around you know you as one certain way, they might build this box of what they deem is your identity. You cannot forever shrink yourself to fit in that box in order to keep those people happy and comfortable. If you need to grow, you need to change to step into line with the most aligned version of yourself, whether that be changing your job, switching careers, making new friends, moving away. You need to do it. It might make some people uncomfortable, but you can't shrink yourself for the sake of keeping them comfortable. Trust me, I know that there can be a ton of fear associated with breaking out of this box of your identity. The first time you do anything, it will feel unnatural. Let's say the first time you go to a workout class alone, the first time you decide to dress a different way, the first time you decide to post on social media. People around you may say, that's not like her, she doesn't usually do this, don't you think it's a little weird? But you do not owe them an explanation on why you are doing what you're doing. If these actions are aligned with the version of yourself that you want to be, then it's not your responsibility to bridge the gap between what they think and what they see. You can never fight to explain yourself or try to close that gap for people, because some people will only ever know the outdated version of you. They might say that you're not a good friend or you're flaky, but maybe in the most recent time period, you've met friends that you've really loved that have taught you what it means to show up and be a good friend. They might say, oh, she doesn't care about her health, she's not that kind of girl, but they don't know that you've gone through hell and back to go on a fitness journey and take care of your mind, body, and soul. They might say you're not very smart, they don't know you've been studying. The point is, they can't see the work that's going on inside of you, so their comments are going to be irrelevant. If these actions are aligned with the version of yourself that you want to be, then they are true to self. These people that are going to hang on to the way that you used to be or the things that you used to do, they don't deserve to access that new version of you that you are going to become. And you have to be okay with understanding that you can't take everybody with you. There are people now who will meet the version of yourself that you're showing up as today, and they will like it and love it. You don't have space to hold on to the people who don't. It can be very draining to surround yourself with people who only know old versions of yourself, because subconsciously you're going to be hanging on to the person you used to be. you need to give yourself permission to let go of that person. It can be really hard to understand that that old version of you is gone, but you need to give yourself the radical permission to change and let go. You are only moving forward. If you know what the top of the mountain would look like for you, you need to start walking today. It seems cringe to wake up in the morning, change your life overnight, but everyone has a day one. Everyone has to start somewhere. If you were gonna climb a mountain and people were gonna make fun of you for taking step one, you would laugh at them. You're saying, hey, I'm climbing a mountain. Obviously, it starts with one step, you know? Anyways, I'll leave you behind. I'll be on my way. So that's kind of what you need to do with your life. So if that involves making new friends, you need to do so. If that involves taking up new hobbies, you need to do so. If that involves moving cities, it can be hard, but you need to do so as well. You know what your ideal version of yourself looks like, so put your feet into her shoes and just start walking. When you start moving forward, you will understand that a lot of people start dropping out of your life, left and right, like flies. There's a lot of people that won't want to accept the new version of yourself that you're becoming, and that's okay. They might be hanging on to something that you used to be. They might be uncomfortable with something you're doing because they could never do it themselves, and that is totally fine. When you're on your journey to the top, you will meet people that like you and love you for exactly where you're at now. They will see your vision and they will hold your hand as you get there. I can say that I've personally seen so many variations of myself throughout the years. I have changed my look several different times. I have gone on multiple fitness journeys with vastly different goals. Not to mention I've moved cities twice within the last 2 years. Each time I did something like this, I did not ask anyone around me for permission. I did not even tell people what I was doing. I just started taking the steps. In fact, when I moved, I don't even think a lot of people knew I was gone until I posted where I was at. I moved from the East Coast to West Coast, decided within about a week, and I let people know that same week because this was the best decision for myself and the woman that I wanted to become. With taking actions and doing things for yourself, you have to understand that you are not going to gain everyone's approval. There are people that are not going to agree with what you do, people that might be confused with it, and that's absolutely okay because like we discussed earlier, we're climbing to the top of the mountain. This is what step one looks like. Nobody needs to understand that but myself. I don't want to get too woo-woo with it, but this always brings me back to the analogy of quantum leaping. When I go to bed at night and when I wake up in the morning, I know the kind of person I want to be. I know what her apartment looks like. I know what job she has. I know what city she lives in. I see her because I am her and she is inside of me. Every version of myself I used to be is still inside of me somewhere. Every version of myself that I can be is inside of me right now. And it's my job to start taking the steps and alchemizing all these thoughts into actions so I can eventually get there. With all that being said, it is not easy to come to terms with a lot of the past traumas and patterns that are gonna come up when you do move forward. As you move forward, it can be scary. You're gonna confront the old version of yourself before you have to sit down and decide to make those changes. And when you look back at yourself, you might see a girl who wasn't confident, who maybe didn't make the best decisions, who surrounded herself with people that treated her poorly or crossed her boundaries. It can be difficult to remember that person and act differently today, but you need to go back and forgive yourself for those things in order to move forward. For example, I have a little picture of myself on my vanity as a little girl, and when I look at her and I think about telling her, by the way, we didn't become everything we wanted to be because we were scared about what people might say and because it was gonna be a little hard. When I think about telling the past version of myself that, it's honestly heartbreaking. If the girl in this photo saw me today, I think she would think she's awesome and amazing. And if I would tell her, you're never gonna become that because you were too scared, that devastates me. I wanna take her by the hand and say, whatever you need to change, we're gonna change it. We're gonna walk together and we're gonna get through it. Everything I do today is in alignment with becoming the best version of myself, I look at the mirror, I see that photo of me as a little girl, and I get up and I do it for her. So when I now feel in the present moment that same feelings of anxiety about change or anticipation about what other people might say, I imagine the future version of myself that I want to be coming, taking my hand and saying, come on, girl, it's time to change. Look what we can become. You can't stay here. This is really important, to grab yourself by the hands and keep moving up to the best version of yourself, because the only person that can make that change is you. And the only place that you can go is forward. You can stay where you're at. There can be two kinds of pain. There can be the pain of remaining the same forever, or there can be the pain of moving forward. And it's up to you which pain you want to feel. But just know 6 months, 1 year, a decade is gonna pass regardless. Where you're at after that period of time is entirely your responsibility. Time is gonna pass anyways. Do you wanna take these steps? You can find discomfort in remaining the same, or you can find discomfort in worrying about what other people might say, or discomfort in getting over your traumas to leave your old patterns behind. This is super pivotal, because when people do meet you where you're at now, they will have no idea where you came from, what you had to overcome to get here, what you used to be like, so you can really wake up in the morning and choose the woman that you want to become. For example, I am not going to talk down on my past self. I love that girl, I forgive that girl, and I look back at her and I smile. But I will say, whether it's an ugly duckling or a swan, maybe in the past I was definitely more of an ugly duckling, and hey, that's okay. You know why? I had to develop a really thick skin. I had to have a fabulous sense of humor and personality so that when I show up, who I am on the inside will really impress people and captivate them, because I know I sure as hell wasn't impressing or captivating anyone based off the external appearance. I say this in juxtaposition to what happened now, because the place where I work, that I've currently been working for the last 7 months, someone had told me, one of my coworkers, when I first met you, I thought you were gonna have no personality because beautiful girls are usually dumb as a rock. First of all, if you think beautiful girls are not interesting or dumb as a rock, you probably don't know them very well, or you made them uncomfortable. That aside, this baffled me, because the version of myself today, you mean the way I show up, the way I carry myself, you assumed I've always been this way. You assumed I woke up, I never had to work for anything, everyone's always just welcomed me with open arms. This was not the case. So for the version of me in the past, if I could go back and tell her when she was struggling with body issues, when she was struggling with friendships, when she was struggling with any of that, hey girl, did you know? Few years from now, people are gonna think that you are so beautiful that you must be stupid. I would have never believed you. I would have never believed you. People make assumptions about others constantly. This is based on nothing besides what they are presented with in front of them. So you can really wake up tomorrow and be whoever you want. And the people who meet you are gonna accept that. You only get one life, and you can choose to make a change right here, right now, today. You can tomorrow wake up and be any sort of woman you wanna be. So tonight, when you go to bed, have a little funeral for the old version of yourself, or old versions of yourselves that you no longer resonate with. When you wake up tomorrow, go to Starbucks, get a cake pop, get a cupcake, whatever you need, put a candle in it. Today's the birthday for your new self. You're waking up, you're a new woman. Celebrate her, welcome her, and watch the world around you accept it, because that's who you are. Breaking out of that box is scary. Breaking out of that box can be painful, but this is one of the most beautiful parts of life. Everything beautiful happens after a change like that. For example, a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. It's not comfortable. It's very strange, but the other side of the process is going to be so much bigger and beautiful than you could even imagine. So if people ever want to hold on to an old version of you, you, first of all, need to let it go inside. Once you've let it go, if there are people around you still hanging on to it, you have to drop them. There are people out there, and I know because I've met them time and time again, who will like you and love you for the version of you that you are today. It's very important that you make space in your life so you can meet those people who are going to love you so much. I have imagined in my head over and over again if this video was going to be well organized or eloquently spoken. At the end of the day, this is just my stream of conscience that I wanted to share with you guys, and that's why I'm sharing it here with you today. I love to have a girl chat. I love to be a big sister. I am a big sister in real life, so this is what I do. If you guys want to share any comments, any advice, anything you've gone through, personal stories that might be helpful down below, please do comment. I'm so blessed that right now I can read and respond to every single comment. My biggest dream, my biggest goal is for the comment section underneath my videos to form community. So we can get that started right here, right now if you'd like. I hope this video resonates with at least one person. If it does, then I did my job. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end of my video, and I hope to see you in the next one.